Hello, guys. Welcome back to the HCR2 Community podcast. I'm back. It's 22. I said I wasn't going to be back, but here I am again. And as always, joining me.
Hulkster from Legion.
Oh, shit. That's right. New name.
New name.
And this time, we have two new guys coming on the podcast.
The Machine from Team Franken, Germany.
And Jarso from North.
Good to have you
welcome,
guys.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks.
So today we are going to be discussing the first take on leagues now that we are, a few weeks into season one. A couple weeks into season one. We started early in May. It's, we have about 10 days left, or, a week and a half left of season one. And trying to get some feedback.
So let's make this fun. Wait, let's make this fun. You have to use a single word to describe your experience with leagues so far. So let's start with Hulk.
Harold.
Okay, the Machine.
Mixed.
You have to use one word to describe leagues.
Didn't I say mixed?
Mixed.
Mixed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. And Yarso?
So was this 18 plus or?
Yeah, don't worry. We're no longer part of Fair Play Service, so we can, no filter.
Bullshit.
All right, what's yours?
Mine, betrayed.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good one because we had a podcast about leagues not too long ago, and it was super vague. We couldn't get a ton of specifics from Reese, and what we expected is not what we got. And specifically, it was encouraging, no matchmaking and no dodging or sniping or sharking. It was just click the button as fast as you can, get your match. Everyone's going to get points based on the individual performance of each player. So we kind of interpreted that as the sum of all the scores for your team versus the sum of all the scores from the other team, and kind of get a points awarded based on the total team performance. Not basically just adding up every single team point now, from the previous way that we played. And it is disappointing. I think that we're never going to have the close battles that we did before. I mean, there's no point in doing it anymore.
Yeah, I think I don't understand the information we got, because we were told, okay, you're gonna be playing a lot more tough matches, like they're gonna matter, and all of this information, and then within the first week, everyone realized, you know what, like it's the complete opposite.
It's literally the opposite.
Yeah, it's literally the team that plays the weakest teams and just stomps them as hard as possible is going to win the league. Look at, Yarso here from North has the best example. They like to play tough matches. And who did you just play?
Yeah, we played, first we played against Unity, then we played against Russia. And, it's just stupid since we lost both matches. But we are 200 points behind Unity, and even if Unity won us, they still lost a lot of points compared to those who got easy 4K matches. We lost with 200 points, and now we are 200 points behind them, and we even lost to Russia after that. They played, I think, German Legends after that, and they are a good team too. So they got less points, and then there are that top 5 who have won every match with 3,500, 4,000 with with that amount. So
So, like,
it's just like if you play a tough match, you lose. Whatever happens, even if you win the game, you lose to the others who play against teams from 50 up.
yeah, exactly. So, like, what placing is North right now?
21st.
Imagine.
And-
So even at this pace,
Unity is 20th, and they have won every match. They won us, they won German Legend, and they are 20th.
yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It's literally punishing people who want to have close battle, or not even close battles, just tough matches against the top teams.
Yeah, and there's no point in play your best against in those best games, since what does it matter? Even if we have won Unity, it would have swinged the points with 100, 200 points. And
Right, you're better
then
off.
Then there are like Poland national, for example, who got the much easier match. They got already 1,500 more because they had easy match, and we played each other.
Right. The way that league set up is, we thought initially it was press the button as fast as you can, get a tough match. Oh, well, we're all going to get points because we're both strong teams. We might lose in the old scoring system, but in leagues, we're gonna be awarded for our efforts against a tough team. Now you're better off saving your tickets in a close match and using them almost when you're playing a weaker team, so you can get that 4K, 4.2K. It's going to matter more.
I have another example here. We played against. Wait, I wrote it somewhere. Yeah, so we played against Russia, and we got great scores. We got 739 Ks and 838 Ks. I asked from Reddit, Discord, Unity, from every those teams. They got exactly similar scores to us, but the points that everyone got was Reddit got 4K, Discord 3.8K, Unity 2.8K, and we got 1.7K. And everyone had similar scores, like cumulative team scores.
Yeah,
right. So the whole point
difference is so big.
The whole point of the top league is that it will do you more harm to match a weaker opponent, is what we were told. So going after the bottom 50 isn't going to help you because you're going to barely advance, is what we were told on the podcast.
Yeah,
so
it was supposed to be like your own performance, your team's performance, but now it's only about who you play against. You play easy match, you get more points than when you match someone from the top 10. No one can think that Unity shouldn't be in top 5. No one can think that we shouldn't be in top 10 fighting from the same positions. We lost by 200 points to them, 2,300 to 2,100.
And your scores against Russia were actually insane.
Yeah. Well, Russia is Russia, so that's a whole other podcast. But
yes.
No, but really, it doesn't make sense because even with the current system, the best team won't necessarily win the league. It'll probably be the team that does the best matchmaking. Because so far we've seen even avoiding, even delaying.
One who has most luck, who plays.
Not even luck, because we've seen that you can delay and you don't get points. Subtracted from your
you can't delay too much because then you might miss one match.
Right, but you can delay 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, of course. But it's also about luck that there isn't anyone from that top 20 to matching at the same time. that
Well,
could
that's
make
what
you
I was
lose
gonna
points.
say. Especially now with how interconnected the teams are and how everybody's literally talking with everybody. You will know within seconds of a team getting an opponent that, okay, boom, Discord matched, boom, North matched, Unity matched. Okay, I can jump in. I know whatever I get from this on, we can probably 4K.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So we had, this is such an ongoing discussion, but we have, from our understanding, in the top 20, say, top 25 teams, there are a few teams that you want to avoid. You wait for them to match, and then you go. You're going to be getting an opponent that you can for sure win at least 3K, which gives you max rewards. And in this system, the rich get richer, and the bottom 50 are getting absolutely clobbered by the top 10 right now throughout the month. So they are going to be assumed to move down a division. The top 50 from Division 1 will move up. So aside from someone like TNO, those teams are going to get smashed for the following month. And then the same 50 that moved down are probably going to move right back up and get smashed again. So it's every other month they're just going to get destroyed.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, I mean, we have the machine. What position is your team? What division?
Division 1.
Division 1. What standing are you in Division 1?
Seeing somewhere about 140 or something, so we're not. The point is, let's say I'm not so disappointed with leagues at all, because you see it from a Division 1 point, at least we get rid of matching top 10 teams now, which is a
That's
good
true.
thing. And we'll get rid of matching a strong opponent we got every second match. This is also gone. So let's say there are some positive points in the leagues I see. Matching goes faster, and we don't have a lot of discussion. We just hit the button as soon as we end a game. So, and we get a different opponent. But actually, we're not the team who can 4K everyone in Division 1, so we most likely stay there. But the matches, from our point of view, are much better, much closer, much more fun.
More balanced. Yeah, I see the same, like with my new account, I'm on a very low team and they are a lot more close and stuff. But and this is something we even mentioned during that podcast with Reese Hulk, was how far beyond the top 20, top 15 teams are from everybody else. So when we found out that it was going to be the top 100 teams, I mean, the difference between the bottom 100 and the top 5, it's insane. I mean, it's like
It's very it's
that's true.
There's such a skill gap.
That's totally true.
Yeah, I mean,
like
leagues are good. I'm not arguing about that. Leagues are good. The scoring system just doesn't fit for at least for the top league.
Exactly.
I can see the machine's point about that the matches are good in Division 1, and I totally agree. They must be. I mean, we have so many teams in North Sisu Finland family that I have seen that those lower end teams, apart from North and Sisu Finland 1, have very good matches. But North and Sisu Finland 1 that are in the top league, that's the problem here. The scoring system and the top league is the problem at this point.
But yeah, so it's also, the scoring system is also in Division 1 an issue if you want to move up or want to keep the division, because you have 400 teams in the division, you play 15 matches, and 50 teams go up. So it's pure luck that you always match a team way down the line.
Right, so you can 4K them.
Yeah, so you can 4K them, or you match a team right beside you, which you win like 2-5 to 2000, which totally, I think we have a difference. We had one hard match, we lost, and I think we already have a difference about 5,000 points to the top now.
Yeah, what I meant was that the leagues itself, it's good, but the scoring system is bad throughout the leagues, and especially in the top league. But of course, the scoring system doesn't work correctly in other leagues too, because it's not about your team; it's about what opponent you get.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true.
Yeah, I'm honestly really surprised that, and I don't want to always criticize, but it is very surprising that within 2 years or apparent 2 years of development, that this was the best they could come up with, because I mean, honestly, they did not have to reinvent the wheel. We've seen normal sports leagues out there. We've seen the format and how they work and how well they work. So making this type of format, it was so obvious it was not going to work, because there's in any division there's going to be teams stomping other teams, and the skill gap, even especially as you get to the bottom, I'm sure the top 100 in Division 1 are going to be destroying the bottom teams as well. Like, the difference is always going to be huge. It's not linear, it's exponential. I think this is where the part where I think we should start proposing how to better the league. In my opinion, at least, I think it shouldn't be based around the score you get against a team. Like, if I can compare it, for example, to football, you shouldn't get the amount of points the amount of points you get shouldn't be based around the amount of goals you score on the opposing team. It should just be a fixed value, because then it puts everybody on the same level, regardless of how much you beat somebody by. So if Reddit beat Discord, I'll get, I don't know, 3 points. That's like literally football league. And if I lose, I get 0 points, and if I tie, we get 1 point. Then if a bottom team, pulls a miracle like in any sport, and they beat a good team, they'll still get 3 points, but it'll matter more than, for example, as Jarso said, a team like North who played Unity. It was a close match. Unity won, but really both teams lost, because any other team that was playing a noob team just got 4K, and they essentially got like a match worth of points more than Unity and North.
But it doesn't doesn't stop the sharking problem that we have right
No,
now.
well, yeah.
In that kind of system, you have to be like that. In one season, everyone plays against everyone, so that it's not that who gets the easiest matches and who loses one match against another top team.
Exactly, and I think, Yarso, you had a really good idea on how to implement this type of system into the current leagues.
Yeah, I can actually. It would be like the league's length of the season would be with the teams that you have. If you have 16 teams, it's about a month, so 15 matches. My idea was that there is 20 teams, so 19 matches. It would be about 38 to 40 days, and of course the matchmaking should be automated, so that you don't have to press the button. That it just gives you the next opponent. You can even have a fixture list waiting for you, that who you are gonna play next. But it was like Champions League has 20 teams. Division 1 had 80 teams, and it was like 4 groups. Division 2, 320 teams, 16 groups, and so on and so on. And it would be like that the winner of each group goes up, and bottom 4 goes down. So it would be like that, because if you want to compete in upper division, you really need to be that good that you can win your group in your own division. Because it doesn't, if you get promote more teams, there would just be another problem that the top teams of the next division just beat their asses. You have to be that good that you can win your own group, so you can even compete in the upper division.
Right,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we talked about even. So we run an impression that no matter what happens, your monthly rewards are going to be way better than any single match rewards, which we find that, okay, 1.5 million coins for the winner and 400 gems, that's great, but it's not it's
Yeah,
never
at
going to
least
be. I
at
mean,
least
it's
in the top, no one actually cares if you get
right. No one cares, but it's also.
400 or do you get the 200 games.
But if you're
Most
in the
most
bottom
of them has
50,
what?
if you're in the bottom 50 and you get stomped for 15 straight matches, you're not getting any rewards until the end.
Yeah.
No special tickets, no chests, nothing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Coins are good, but still you have to think that there are so many players, so many teams that don't even need those coins.
Right. We actually saw. I copied Manny. What team does Manny play for?
Rats.
Rat. Okay. So I'm gonna read his proposal. It's actually very good.
Yeah, it was good too.
Let's see. Okay. He had an example that say Reddit wins and has the highest cumulative score. This brings them 200 points for the highest cumulative scores and 50 points because they won their match. Team Discord had the second highest cumulative score, so they would get 190 points for the score and 50 points for the winner of their match. So if you lose a match, you only get the points for your cumulative score based on your division. If you want to be first, you need high scores and win all your matches for all the points. So if in a situation where Unity would play North, we'll take that as an example. The scores were very high and it was a very close match. So both of those two teams, because they were pushing each other in a tight match with two strong teams, they would both probably be in the top 10 cumulative score-wise, but Unity gets the extra 50 points for the win.
That's really good.
That's really good. That would be really good. Of course, those cumulative scores have to be something like 45 players or something. So
that's what I was gonna say.
You are not in disadvantage if you don't get full team for every match. If one of your players decides that okay, I'm going to vacation, now you have 49 and you lose by 35k already because one player doesn't play.
Right.
Yeah,
or even the top 45 average.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. I was gonna say Zeki proposed the top 45 as an average, even if the team is 50, because then you force. I mean, you still need teams to be somewhat full. You can't just have a team with 5 people, like 5 Vocopis, who all get 40k, and then have an cumulative score of 40k. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. Yeah.
So it should always be divided by 45. Yeah, that would be a good. Yeah.
The downside on this is that before rewarding those points to the teams, you have to wait for all matches to be over. It could be an issue.
Which is why it should just be automatic.
That's why it would be automatic. Yeah. So
if you have automatic matchmaking, yeah, this would work.
Yeah, every match started at the same time. There could be like 1 hour, 2 hour delay between each match. If some team wants to make some roster changes or something like that.
Or like with the current length of the season, you have 15 matches. Sorry, no, you have actually 14 matches, but you have basically an extra 2 days or 48 hours worth of matchmaking to play around with. So you could use that time in between, like have some time in between matches automatically, where you can make roster changes and move players, or do whatever you need in terms of managing your team.
Yeah. That automatic matchmaking would be absolutely great, because it just takes away that sharking and needing to network just to get to know where the other top team is.
Right, and the whole point of leagues was to eliminate the politics with networking and matchmaking, and it only made it worse, much worse.
Yeah.
Right, actually, but the point is we didn't see the end of the leagues yet. I think matchmaking will get more difficult during the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean,
pool of teams.
It already is. If everyone is at the same timeline. But I already heard a lot of teams trying to delay because they didn't want to get to be against Russia, for example, who absolutely whooped our asses. That nobody wanted to play against them. We knew that, okay, we are not gonna get another hard match next if we just join instantly, because no one wants to try against Russia. And I can't even see why would anyone want to play against us at this point. They know that they are gonna lose points if they play against us, even if they
Right, and that's
beat us.
and that comes that's with a lot of the top teams. There's no incentive to match them. You're going to waste tickets and you're going to lose ranking.
Yeah.
Even amongst top teams, like, I don't know about you guys. I mean, all of your respective leaders in your teams, but we're literally trying to avoid any tough match for the sake of trying to win the league, because that's the whole point of the league. But it just takes away from.
We enjoyed the match against Unity. It was great, and when we matched them at that point, we already decided, okay, that leaderboard doesn't matter. We want these good games. It would just be much better if it doesn't harm us in leaderboard if we want to play these good games.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's
true.
the point. Like, you should be incentivized to play against good opponents, not decentivized. And your only incentive right now is to 4K your next opponent. So we probably have seen more 4Ks in the last 2 weeks than in the last several months combined.
Yeah, no one can afford to take it easy against easier opponent, because if you take it easy, you let them have the ticket, for example, you get that 3,000. You already lost by 1,000 to a team who doesn't take it easy against easier opponent.
Right.
That's true. Yeah, and I think we'll see. I mean, we'll still have some time, but I think by the end of this season, we'll see that the leaderboard is not gonna truly reflect the strength of the teams in that order. You might have Reddit or you might have Discord winning the league, but you'll have a team like North, probably top 20 if they continue in this manner, which is not their fault.
We are gonna be already outside top 10, maybe even outside top 15. And
exactly, and I mean,
and Unity, even if they won both games, us and German Legends, and they are 20th at this point. They are one spot ahead of us. We have lost 2 games. They have won every game.
Exactly, and you'll have
that can't be how it works.
Exactly, you'll have multiple teams completely unbeaten the entire season, and teams that their ranking. North is a top 5 team. Unity is a top 5 team. All these teams, and they're probably going to be outside of it, and you'll have random ass teams, who probably talked to Amra and they avoided every other tough team.
Yeah, that. I mean, didn't Legion have already the first match they had was against
Reddit?
Not Reddit. Yeah, they lost already in that game. They lost multiple teams that are, if they played each other, Legion would win, absolutely win, and they were behind every one of those just because
we were 89th rank after first match.
Yeah, that's because you had one bad matchmake.
Right, and it was because we thought, like, okay, let's race for the button because it's leagues and everyone's going to be awarded for playing a tough opponent. So we thought all the top teams are going to rush to the button. We have to be in that mix.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to play a weak opponent and be penalized for it.
Well, you are now in top 10, so that's not too bad. But for example, at 8 in this point is Sweden HCR. We have the best Swedish players. We are 21st. Swedish national team that have lots of good players, of course. We would love to have a couple of those, but okay, not recruiting here. But they are at 8 at this point, so they have had much more easier matches than for example, us. Russia is arguably the best team at this point. It's debatable are they legit or not, but at this point they must be one of the best teams. But
And we
they
know
played
for a
yeah.
fact, we know they're not legit. And if anybody
yeah,
from
but
Fingersoft is listening,
they played against us. They played against Germany, and they are 12th at this point because
right.
they lost those points because they played against top teams. So
I mean, I'm looking at the leaderboard right now. You have Portugal at 5th, and if I remember correctly, Portugal was like top 80 before league started.
their faction is at 6th. They do have lots of good players, but they are not top. Probably they are not top 10
Not top
team.
10, yeah.
Sweden HCR is absolutely not top 10 team, but they are at 8th.
Right. So it doesn't.
Those top teams, not Reddit, Poland, Discord, Greece, they are good teams, but I would argue Poland wouldn't be even close top three position if the point system wasn't this retarded.
It's just
okay.
it feels a lot like whatever their original plan for leagues was failed at the last minute, and they're just like, just add all the scores and go.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
I don't know.
sure
I
about
was
that.
gonna.
I would say I think Risk told us that they always tested on a smaller scale. And on a smaller scale, when every team plays every team, this works actually. Not on this kind of scale.
Yeah,
That's true.
if everyone played against everyone, that would lose the disparity of what opponents you get, because now there are 99 different different opponents, but you only play against 14 of them. So it's only about who gets the easiest matches.
Right. And we figured that out after the first match. It's like, oh my gosh, they're actually just counting the score.
Yeah, we wanted to wait this podcast just because we wanted to see if it adjusts from the points that your opponent have and what you have, but because in first match, of course, everyone had 0, so there wasn't no baseline basically. But
right.
now that there is, it still hasn't changed anything, so it's just bad.
Yeah, and something I wanted to add, I wanted to get your opinion on this as well, was this is just at least my perspective on the whole leagues in general and how Fingersoft has gone about just updates in general and updating the game. This is just my perspective, but I think there is a lack of interaction and listening from their side, from their community. You have somebody like Reese who's supposed to be the community manager, but for me, it's pointless for him to be the community manager who's supposed to be interacting with the community, and all he does is, or the only server he's in is the Fingersoft server. What type of interaction are you getting from the Fingersoft server other than, a few kids,
memes.
let's be honest.
Yeah.
And memes and kids who are, I'm sure some people have great ideas there. I'm not going to say they don't. But, the truly hardcore, the people that honestly probably understand the game even better than the developers who have good ideas. I mean, look at even the current league system. We've seen multiple people come up with better formats in a matter of minutes than Fingersoft basically did in 2 years. And I cannot wrap my head around how that can be possible. And we've said this in the past before. There is a lack of interaction, or at least, there's a lack of interaction from Fingersoft, from listening to the community and what's actually best for the game.
I think that I think that they just don't understand. We had the impression that they feel like anybody in the top 100 can lose to anybody else in the top 100 in any given event, and it's just simply not true.
Yeah, I
exactly.
mean, they had they had very good intentions in this league thing, and that everyone hoped that leagues would come, but those intentions just didn't add up at the end when they made it, and they just didn't. They just couldn't figure it out that how it should be done.
Yeah, intention
They
was
just,
good, the execution was poor.
yeah.
But wasn't this
I
before
was
in
trying
this
to
game?
find those words, but
Sorry, Machine?
Didn't that happen before in the game? I mean, I played this game, I think, for 3 years now or even longer. And there were always updates where you said, ooh, what is this? And with the next or the one after the next, they fixed it. And fixed it to a better thing. So I have hope that they realize that what the first league version, I would call it, is really not has some bad side in the pointing system, and I hope they will fix it.
yeah, I hope too that they can figure out that this was a failed attempt.
Yes.
But that's why we need those suggestions that how it would work better.
Who is playing this game for a long term now?
I think you've played it the longest here, at least. I think I've been playing now for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about 2 years too.
You only know leagues, you don't know the time before leagues.
No, before team events.
Sorry, team events.
Yeah.
Not leagues.
No, I don't know before team events.
I played before team events, but even at the start of team events, I was just a noob playing by myself. I didn't have Discord. I didn't have anything like that.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I have played. When Superbike came to the game, at that point I was playing the game. In that point I had Max Supercar Lamborghini.
Okay, so you already know none of you knows the time in the game where there were no tuning parts on the cars.
No, there was already tuning
I
parts
only played with tuning parts. Yeah.
This was a fun because I remember they had an update on the winter adventure map, and there was a fuel missing. The point was it was somewhere in the snow, somewhere digging in the cave. So you see the fuel come up. Oh, it's there in a few hundred meters, and then you pass and say, "What's the fuck? Where's the fuel?" And you always ran out of fuel. It was around that second cave in that map, and you couldn't go any farther with that. And I guess I think shortly after that the tuning parts came out, and then they didn't realize it when testing it because a magnet pulled it up. You didn't have that. So they always put those kind of errors in the game and fix it later. I have a lot of hope that they will fix it.
There's gonna be errors, but hopefully they aren't stubborn. That hopefully they are able to come up with better ideas with these suggestions. Hopefully they listen to this, because that would give them actually. It's not just us four that thinks this. I have talked to a lot of guys from multiple teams, and everyone thinks this needs to change.
Look at it this way. If you go to Vahi's betting server, HCR2 World, he puts up polls asking questions. So the first one he put up was, "It's interesting to know how many of us have confidence in Fingersoft making leagues a way that we like. Please react." So thumbs up for good and thumbs down for disappointing. 285 people voted that there will be good leagues. Today actually, a few hours ago, he made a new poll asking hey guys, are you satisfied with leagues format overall? And he tagged everyone. And 211 people voted down. So I mean, that's a big number.
That's a big number. And
also, Fingersoft says that or said that they don't cater to the top 100 because there's such a huge base of players worldwide. But I don't think that anybody. I mean, I guess if you're in Division 1 and you're a middle of the road Division 1, middle of the road Division 2, middle of the road Division 3 team, you might like leagues because you're not going to get crushed by every other match. But if you are in the top 150, it's a terrible system. And if you're in the top 10, it's a terrible system because you can't advance without taking advantage of weaker teams.
Yeah, and I understand totally that they have to listen. They have to think a lot more than only top 20 teams or something like that. But they shouldn't forget those top 20 teams. I mean, think about this. If from those top 20 teams, they are so disappointed in this, they are gonna just stop playing the game. How about those streamers, those big YouTube influencers in this game? If they decided that, well, this just doesn't work, they are just gonna switch to another game, and HCR2 loses huge amount of advertising because those players decide that well, this isn't worth it anymore. This company doesn't care about players, so why would we play this game? We are going to play another game. They would lose so much fans because those few players that do lots of videos decides that this isn't their game anymore.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I've been trying to say about working Fingersoft working more together with the community in regards to this, especially like you said with the top 20, because I'm sure you would argue that the top 20 teams are the most passionate and most dedicated players in the entire game. I mean, they are in the top 20 for a reason. They take the game the most seriously.
And if you think that those teams doesn't give anything back, that's just untrue. Think about the North Sisu Finland community. We have like 8 teams. We have over 350 players, and we are helping everyone within this game that are in our community. And think about those players from Sisu Finland 6, Sisu Finland 5. They wouldn't probably even, well, they might be playing, but they wouldn't be as connected to the game without our top team, because we are sheltering those lower teams that are in our family.
Yeah,
right,
that's true.
and also this isn't, this is not coming from a salty standpoint. We're not saying, oh, this sucks and the game's not any fun anymore. The game is still very fun. We're just doing this to, we're basically gathering community feedback and presenting it because we care about the game. We want it to get better.
Yeah, if we didn't care about the game, if we didn't like the game, we wouldn't be talking here.
Right.
If we were just thinking, well, it's just a game. Well, of course it's just a game, but if we were like that, we don't care about it, we wouldn't be talking here. We would just play.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't have the service that we do. And like the machine said, it goes without saying that leagues, nevertheless, is a step forward. It shows that at least they have good intentions. I mean, they did listen to some regard the fact that we recommended leagues for the past 2 years, but we came. So there's still good things about the update. But
yeah, there are lots of upside in the leagues, and hopefully it wouldn't be too hard for them to fix the scoring systems and maybe even the matching system, so that it would actually be the best they can do.
Exactly. We're only pushing them to make it as best as possible.
What about a matching system? The point is, my point is, if they would fix the pointing system to a good scaling pointing system, they don't have to fix the matching system.
Yeah, that might be true, but what I meant that if they got those automated matches, that within your league, your group, you would play against everyone, so you wouldn't have to be pressing join, that you actually had that automated system that you actually play against everyone.
Yeah, that would be great. I agree, but that
was what I meant with that matchmaking thing.
Yeah, true.
So here's a question for you guys. If we're starting season 2, say 2 weeks from now, we have 2 or 3 days where Figuresoft is going to go dark, and we have to wait for the next season to start.
I'm not expecting them to fix it that quickly, but
I'm not expecting anything within a year, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah,
So we're
but,
saying, if they could fix one thing, I think that we agree it's not matchmaking, it's not leagues, it's the scoring system in leagues that needs
yeah,
fixed.
the scoring
Right.
system needs a quick fix, because at this point it just encourages you to crush weaker teams. It
Right.
doesn't encourage you to play against other top teams. It doesn't encourage you to have good games. It encourages you to have easy games.
Yeah. Also, you got to keep in mind that this update was supposed to bring a lot more content to the game, and it wasn't released. I don't know why. You can only assume it was not ready. So that's probably the thing that's coming next. So
What
I
do
don't
you
expect
mean?
any. There was a new adventure map. I can't remember. There was some other stuff that was supposed to come with this update.
Oh
I
no,
think the adventure map, Riz wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think that Reese thought it was the adventure map, but it was a new cup.
He said a new cup and a new adventure map, but for the adventure map, he wasn't sure if it comes with this update or if they announce it later or something like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Cool.
So
Yeah, I think
probably
the
for the
adventure map's
future.
supposed to come in like a month or something.
I had just a good idea about a scoring system. Maybe we could work it out.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if you would say every player gets a number where his own score is divided by the maximum possible score from the match. Like if you score 38k, you divide it by 40k, and then you get a number. You have to calculate it, but I don't know. And for the whole team, this number is calculated, and then you add them up. That is the points you get for the end of the match.
That's the same as cumulative score, no?
Yeah, but the point is you can calculate this on the spot. You don't have to wait for all matches to end.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad actually.
Oh yeah, okay.
Of course,
That's what you mean.
the point amount would be would be a lot less diversity, because for example, if you get 30k out of 40k, that would be 0.75, right? If you add these 0.75s, 0.9 scores, you would get number less than 40 probably most of the time, and every team would be in that very little spot there.
But maybe you can scale it.
Yeah,
can
that
scale
would be
those
good.
score to you need to scale. Maybe you need to scale it with factor 4 or something like that you get some 150 points, and then you have to round it so you have to cut the fractions away, and to not have those fraction effects too big. I think the scaling would work pretty good.
Yeah, there should be also be some kind of reward actually winning the match, some kind of little multiplier like 1.2 or something.
Or add an additional 50 points or something like that for winning the match. That would be
something
be
like
good.
that. So it would be, it wouldn't be only about what you do. It would be also that you need to win those games too.
And so a match which two strong teams play each other with insane scores, both would stand above different teams who, like 4K is a weaker team, I guess.
Yeah, if those scores are so much better than team that wins, if there would be like 2 bottom 20 teams from that league, so that if they have so much worse scores, they shouldn't have more points than those teams that are much better.
You guys should work at Fingersoft.
I'm trying to think, like, the things that could make it more fun, like a playoff system or a bracket like March Madness, or
I even thought you could divide each division into smaller groups. Probably the smaller division is going to be hard because the pool of teams is just absolutely huge. So it's way too hard to do it there.
Yeah, there
But
should
take for
be just
example,
groups.
yeah, take for example the Canyon Champions League, the very top division. You have 100 teams. You could make 6 groups of. I came up with this early today. I can't remember now. 19 teams or 18 teams, 16 teams. I can't remember. So half groups of like 16 teams, and then they all play each other within a month. And then by the end of that month, the top teams from each of those groups go on to like a playoff bracket where they play. You know, you have like
That would be so cool, like a playoffs.
yeah, that'd be
exactly
really
like
fun.
playoffs.
That
And then
would
you have
be
a final.
so awesome.
Exactly, and then you have a final, and I mean, there should be some way where you could like spectate, sorry, this like match and see it live. It would create so much hype because it would be like a proper tournament style, and you still
Yeah.
have somewhat like a season.
Yeah,
But the point is, what do the other teams do during
be
that
also
time?
some kinds of losers brackets that they don't be cut off from the team events for the month when they are playing
Oh,
those
exactly.
Right, like the
teams
playoffs,
that
it would
don't
just be
make
regular. It would just be regular matches. You get your match rewards, but you wouldn't
exactly continue to
wouldn't-
get rewards and stuff. Exactly, like friendly matches or practice for the future, or I don't know. They could. I mean, I'm just making crazy ideas now, but like, you could like play a simulation of the final. Like against the scores of the two teams in the final, just to see how you would play out against them.
Yeah, so like you would still get your rewards, but you would see how would your team fare with those top teams that are still playing.
Exactly, yeah. That would be cool.
That would be really fun.
Think about, for example, Reddit was the versus Discord grand final.
Everyone would go crazy, bro.
How nuts would that be? That the trash talk, everything.
The mercenaries.
Yeah, there should be something that locks the teams for playoffs or something like that. So
Yeah.
that would be need to be implemented because it would be just stupid that who recruits better 25 outside from your own team.
Right.
But that would be so fun. Like the hype around it, especially as once you get into the playoff bracket and you start, I don't know, let's say I'm gonna pick 6 random teams. So from each side, I don't know, you have I don't know, let's say North versus Unity on one side, then Discord versus Greece, Reddit versus Russia, and then on the other side, Legion versus Imperio H. What other top teams are there? I'm struggling here. Germany versus
German Legends.
German Legends. SE and BG versus. Okay, but you get the point. And then
yeah,
I mean, those matches alone will be so hyped because to get to that point, you would have had to be the best in your group already. But then the more you move into the bracket and the closer you get to the finals, man, it would just be like, oh my God, and I'm sure that matches would be super close. Like, just look at the simple match like North and Unity just now. It will come down to the absolute wire.
It was one score game. For example, very next game we had, okay, it was Russia. They had so insane scores that it doesn't really matter. But even one guy that actually could get a good run against Russia, if he could have get that against Unity, we would have won that game.
Exactly.
Beef was about one score. No, Beef was quite high actually against Unity. I was talking about Isope, who scored like 39.6 against Russia. If he could have gotten even 38.5 against Unity, we would have won that game.
Or the 340 case that you showed us all of a sudden.
Yeah, Sweden is the new Russia. Yeah, but it was the second match we played against Russia. So in that point when there was everyone had only their second game, I think there was like 640Ks throughout the whole Champions Leagues.
Yeah,
And
and 5 of them were in Russia.
no, I mean 6 from other teams and 5 from
Oh,
Russia.
sorry. And 5 from Russia.
But there was like 6 players in every other team that could do that, and 5 players from Russia. Now I have seen Unity have like 4 40Ks and we have 3 40Ks, and I think Reddit must have already 3 or 4 with themselves too. So of course people learn how to play the team event the further it goes, but it was only the second game. But that's another podcast.
Yeah.
So switching subjects quickly. Just wanted to talk a little bit about our new server, which is called the HCR2 Community Lounge. This is still the HCR2 Community Podcast, just a new location. But we have an all-star lineup of mods on the Community Lounge, which is we still have Special Amra. We have Yarso, One and Only, Vicky, Tiggs, Ziki, Rosita, and the mystery man to me is Lav. I don't know Lav, but and then the podcast. Yeah, and then the podcast crew.
We also have Avita Hall.
Yes,
Avita Hall, yeah,
Avita Hall. And as far as the podcast crew goes, we have Link from Wasted Aces. He's been awesome in helping us with our logos and our banners. The machine, as always, super helpful. Just does so much for us.
He does 90% of the work. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
hardest working guy in the whole.
It is not true.
Community.
He does the entire editing of the podcast. That alone is 90% of the work.
Yeah, we can't forget Craig. Craig does a little bit of work too.
When he wants to work.
When he wants to work, he's good.
About time the machine gets the shout out. He just had to get in the podcast to get the shout out.
And of course we have Hayes Nation that's going to be joining us. He was working today and got tied up, but he's going to join us too.
Yeah, so that's true. I can't believe we didn't talk about that at the start of this podcast, but yes, so we have a new server basically. So please join us. It'll be obviously in the link in the description of the video. Come hang out. And the rules are simple here. Jarso, do you want to read it out loud?
I can. I can. Rule number 1, don't be an asshole. Rule number 2, disregard the first rule if you have a permission. If you don't know, do you have the permission, you don't have it. To be clear for everyone. Number 3, have some common sense. Number 4, if you are an idiot, you will be escorted out. And number 5, this is from Fingersoft. Everything is subject to change.
Yes. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. You forgot to have a nice day.
Yes.
Oh yeah, sorry. I need to edit that when we get out of the podcast.
So yeah, the server's maybe a week old, but we're gaining members. You're going to get your YouTube channel back. The podcast is back in full swing. We're going to have, it's going to be. Let's just say the podcast and the streaming channel in the new server is a better fit than where it was.
That's right, and it's just for fun. It's a lot more relaxed. So come here. Don't stress about what you say, what you don't say. Just don't get on the bad side of Yarso because he'll kick you out instantly. But...
Yes, and don't request to be his friend.
I'm not that bad.
Don't get on his bad side and don't lick his ass.
Yeah, don't do it. Just what? Make sure he doesn't see you, basically.
Oh man, you are making me look bad.
So no, you've already done that by yourself.
So what do you guys think about an adventure podcast? I know we've gotten a ton of requests for it, and none of us are really adventure players, but there's a lot of people that are
I
asking
hate the
about it.
adventure.
I mean, I'm
So
down
you
to
have
do
to-
it, but please contact anyone from this server, but please be a decent person.
I have
Like
a
as
few
a
people in
human
mind for
being,
it.
not as a player in adventure.
Yeah. So the people that we would have on it are they'd be cool people. But I think we should at least, do it because we've always had requests for it and we kept putting it off.
Yeah, I mean, by all means. I am definitely not an adventure guy. In fact, with my new account, I do not intend on touching adventure or getting to Cannoneer by any means.
That's how I feel about challenges. When someone posts a friend challenge, I just have no interest in playing that.
Oh yeah, that
No,
either. Like,
I play all of those challenges if they are time attacks. I just like to beat those times. Most of my gems are now going those challenges because I want to win.
I mean, speaking of challenges, if people don't know already, I stream sometimes on the Discord or soon enough on YouTube. And if you want to see me be a noob and try your challenges and waste hundreds, if not thousands of gems on a single challenge by Yarso, then please head over and watch the live stream.
Wow.
Oh, I am coming for you with that heavyweight scooter challenge.
Heavyweight with a level 1 engine in the desert.
Yeah.
So what do we have coming up next as far as podcasts go? We still have Pooter coming.
I was gonna say we will have Pooter on. That's still happening, and then well, you're gonna have to wait for that episode to know the guests. So multiple. That's gonna be a bit of a hint for the next episode after that.
Yes. Sounds
And
good.
that's gonna be a really, really funny episode.
And of course you are gonna have your best hosts, Hulk, Juanito, and maybe even Hayes.
Yeah, hopefully Hayes joins us. He was busy today, which was a shame, and hopefully we get more of the guys as well. It'd be fun to have Amra again, make fun of her as always. I hope Rosita will join us one day, and
He
obviously,
will.
I hope. I have. By the way, so guys, come to the server. We have some really cool channels. We have two special channels. One, Canyon Champions Chat.
And we're going to be doing something different going forward. We're going to try a few live stream podcasts.
Oh, do you want to actually give a little something about that? Hopefully, because we haven't gotten much feedback about that, but I think it'll be cool to see the reaction of more people regarding that. The whole debate thing.
Right. So we're going to have some live stream podcasts where we're going to announce that we're going to be going live at a certain time. If you can join the channel, great. We can take your chats, and we're going to have maybe two different people that think something differently and kind of debate about certain topics within the game, and then have the chat open so we can see people's real-time feedback and talk about it. If the questions or the general feeling from the chats, we can ask different questions. And we'll also still record them. So if you can't make it based on your time zone, we'll still upload it like a normal podcast. But I think it'll be fun to have, basically streaming in real time with chatting going on.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be really, really fun. Actually, it's just imagine like a live debate. Imagine, I put it this simple. Imagine having Yarso arguing with LHT. That simple. Just
Oh man.
that's enough.
I don't think they'd be arguing.
No one else is going to speak.
Don't advertise with me.
Who would you have an issue with, Yarso?
Who I won't have an issue with. Well, there could be a lot of great arguments and debates there. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, true.
multiple different topics and different people to talk about those topics. And
Yeah,
right.
and
Topics,
part of
some example topics would be special tickets, get rid of them or keep them, mercenaries, joining teams to beat other teams for one match, league scoring systems. It could be a number of different topics that we can talk about.
yeah, and
EULA violators.
Yeah, that's
what constitute what
I'm
actually
guilty, I'm
constitutes an
guilty.
EULA. Yeah.
But the purpose of this idea was to.
You heard that, right? He admitted he is guilty.
Yes.
Finally.
Oh, for fuck's sake! It's not like I never did. But the purpose of this idea was to, have a little bit more interaction with the listeners, with the viewers. Something a little bit more personal, and also to, have more people on the podcast at the same time, and have a better conversation than you would normally have than on chat. Because for anybody that was ever in the top 50 channel, you'll remember Hulkster and Ryan and Nestor going off. I think it can be a lot more productive than that if you go on voice chat.
Right. Yeah. In the Reddit versus Discord and things like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there as well.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for. Oh, go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
It could actually result that people finally see eye to eye or something. Even if they disagree on something, they might actually agree to disagree.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
all right, now I was going to say, thanks for joining today. It was a good first podcast in the new location, and we're going to have a lot more stuff coming out soon. So keep in touch. Join the lounge.
Join the lounge. Yeah, hang out.
Kick your feet up.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.